I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Manchester City against Newcastle, and quite frankly, Newcastle, you disappointed me because I keep I hate to say that word, bigging you up. Oh my God, it's so moronic. Those words. I'm losing IQ points just thinking about saying it. Because they have one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, in my opinion. And they just didn't show up. But first off, we're going to talk about this because it's almost a carbon copy of the exact same goal Brighton scored against Chelsea, where you've managed, think about this, you've got a goalkeeper who's walked outside the 18-yard box and you've got nobody is going to press this ball. They're just watching him. Just watching. What are you doing? Get on the goalkeeper. Pressure this football. You're not letting a player just slowly walk down the field and then just ping a ball because, well, you've got to remember, if there is no pressure on the ball right now as a centre-back or as any defender, you need to be backing up as fast as you can, getting away from that halfway line because he's going to drop the ball in behind. And it doesn't have to be a good ball because there is loads and loads of space for it, to be a bad ball, recover, and the striker go and finish it off. And that's exactly what happens. I want you to look at how far the goalkeeper is allowed to come from Newcastle with everybody just walking backwards. Nobody is interested in trying to win this game of football or pressure that football from Newcastle whatsoever. And if you're in this situation as a defender, the last thing you want to be trying to do when you're a tiny little Kieran Trippier is try to head this ball across here. You just almost have to realise you're just going to concede possession and try to stop the player running in behind. You can't go and try to cut the ball out because if you make a mistake, he is gone. You have to stay goal side. This is just terrible decision making and terrible defending. But not just him, right? At least he's gone back and tried to do the right thing when you've still got players on the halfway line here. Knowing what's going to happen, knowing that the goalkeeper has come out from the 18-yard box, a good another 15 yards outside of that, and you haven't dropped, and you've left this amount of space in the back. And yeah, we're going to blame the guy here on the ball, but so are we all of these other defenders here. I mean, overall, it's just poor defending, poor pressure from the midfield, poor pressure from the strikers. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied right there. I just can't believe this is allowed to happen. That's why I'm getting so riled up. It's like, you're in the Premier League for crying out loud. It's awful. It's just awful. Gets completely done underneath the ball, which is like, that's so much basic football. You know where the ball's going. You can judge that flight. You know you shouldn't be challenging for it. And you know you're the last defender and you need to be backing up and doing something about it. To be fair, though, the keeper was coming out a little bit to try to react to the fact that there was so much space in behind. But what's he going to do in this situation? He's in no man's land and he's asking the striker to go on, you show me a worldy finish. And do you know what the striker does? Exactly that. Worldy finish, knocks it over the top and into the net box. Let's move it on. Okay, so what you want to look at is this ball's just been played across and look how many players are taken out of play straight away. Okay, now Trippier, again, is going to be at fault for this, but he's also not. This is the thing where the player that's closest to the striker that scores the goal is getting all the blame, right? Same as the last goal where there was no pressure up front whatsoever, just shocking all over from the whole team. I was having an aneurysm trying to do the breakdown because it's just so bad. Again, watch this. The moment he receives the ball, between him and the goal, there's almost absolutely nobody. You're too far away to really come over and help. You need to be jogging over right away if you're going to do anything, let alone put pressure on the midfield, right? So this guy from here gets to run all the way to the 18-yard box with no pressure because everyone has got caught out of position. Everyone. And here we go. By the time there's even a slightest bit of pressure, which isn't enough, by the way. This just isn't good enough. The other problem with you coming forward here, you're leaving a gaping hole right there. You're just getting pulled apart. A team that has such normal good defensive shape, and especially midfield shape, it's just all over the place. There's gaps, there's holes, stuff that you shouldn't be expecting. Now, all he's got to do is wait for this guy just to commit a little bit more, just to roll in his pass. It's very, very simple. As he does play the pass in, it's a simple little touch, cut back, and have a go at the goal. And of course, as he cuts it back, Trippier, look at his body shape. He's completely and utterly facing the wrong way, can't challenge. But again, it's because this guy's been able to come all the way through the midfield without any pressure. And I'm going to see if I can show you his reaction here at the end when it goes down, because he's got his hands up like to his midfield. Where are you? How is this guy able to run all the way through midfield? Now we've got no pressure on the ball. If I step towards it, he's going to pass it behind me. What am I like? What do we do? Like, yeah, it's terrible. Little cut inside, but as you can see, there's the space that's opened up because someone else has gone walkabout to pressure the ball. Why? Because somebody else wasn't doing their job, and it's an effect. It's a roll-on effect. One doesn't do the job properly, then the next one doesn't, and then the last one doesn't. But the only thing all the those pundits on TV and those idiots will talk about is him here because his body shape is wrong and he's closest to the guy that scored the goal. Not a bad goal, to be fair. Bottom corner. It's all right. But let's move it on. Actually, before we do, I do want to show you this Kieran Trippier reaction right here, because I'll be the first one to say when he's done something wrong or right. You've got to go both ways. You can't just say, oh, he's bad at this or was good at that. But look, watch his reaction right here. He knows what's gone wrong, slams on the ground, and he's looking at the video. How has he been able to walk through midfield like that? He knows exactly what's gone wrong. It's just like I've shown you here. And it's just, I mean, it's just not Newcastle. It's just not how they play through. Yeah, but let's move it on. I don't think I've seen worse defending from Newcastle this season at all. Right, look at the body shape. Look where he's looking. Shoulders. Look where he's looking. Shoulders. Look where he's looking. Okay. There's a channel there. You can see these two guys right here. He's the guy that's going to end up tapping it into the goal. Where are you two going right now? Right, he's got this over here. You can come and cut the space out here, but you don't need to go anywhere near this football here because he's just running into this space here. So this is the area that he's looking to try to exploit. So if you're going to try to back him up, this is the area where you two need to be running towards, right? So I'm going to skip this forward. Look at the casual run. Look where they're running towards. They're not, you can see where he's looking at. He's looking at the ball. No idea about this space here. And as they're doing it, both of them are doing the same job, right? Because both players are running there. You don't need both, you only need one. And as they're both running away, he's laughing, going like, wait, what, are you telling me both players are just going to leave me unmarked? Both players are going to walk away towards the ball here, where he's 1v1. Like, what are you on about? Like, what are you doing? And he's got backup from the centre-back here. What does that mean? If he goes and passes in there, the centre-back can come in and cover for him. And these two players are basically redundant, because they're not goal side. They're not close enough to win the ball. They're not close enough to do anything, really. As it moves forward, boom, look how much more space they're giving him. 1, 2, 3, 4 players. No one's close enough to challenge the ball. No one's close enough to actually stop a pass that someone's open. And when the cutback happens, oh, I'm completely wrong. It's not this little wee kitty here who, I think it's Gundogan comes in and finishes it. But I don't know, actually. Yeah. But you can see how big the gap is, and because the players have run wide to do nothing. Now, if you're going to go wide and you're going to do that and you challenge for the ball, great. But if you're just going to run wide for running wide's sake, don't do it. And it's a simple tap in, and they get themselves another goal. We've got a simple corner routine coming in here, and there's going to be a flicker on the front post by Hazard. What I want you to watch, though, this is where the goal scorers are. We've got one Newcastle player actually doing a half-decent job until this little flick happens, and then he just doesn't bother to carry on marking. He's doing a good job. He's got himself between the player and the goal line. Fantastic. So that means at least he can step forward and challenge the player because the player is in front of him. Fantastic. Brilliant. But then watch what happens as this little flick happens. Oh, he's run behind me. Now he's completely unmarked. And the reason this normally happens is because the player is too busy trying to fight with the player and not mark the player. There's a difference. If you're trying to fight with the player and you're putting your body weight on him and you're doing little things, he can roll you, get out of the way and do something. That's what happens here because you're focused on one thing, which isn't winning the football or trying to stop him winning the ball. It's just pushing and shoving. So now he's completely unmarked. You've done a poor job and he just volleys it into the goal. Disappointed in Newcastle. They should have done better today. But other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.